Well, hello ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry it's a little windy, but by special request, I have come to do a special little video here at the Drumheller Hoodoos, among the most photographed hoodoos in Canada. I am in the Alberta Badlands. If you don't know the area, it is most famous, I expect, for dinosaurs because of the Royal Tyrrell Museum, one of the 3 top dinosaur places in the world. But have a look at this incredible environment. These are the Badlands. This is the story of erosion. If you're familiar with erosion, this is it. As you go up to the prairie at the top, the land gets younger, and as we dig down, it gets older. Now, just before I show you the hoodoos, I just want to point out a whole mess of vehicles in the distance right there, and a whole mess of vehicles over here, so I didn't park in the parking lot. These are 2 distinct film sites. So this one is a new series for FX, I guess, and I didn't catch the name. And the one down there is apparently filming something about Vikings. We are about 1,400 or 1,500 kilometers from the ocean, so and really far from the Atlantic Ocean. And so therefore, filming Vikings sounds quite interesting to me. All that noted, the reason I have come down to this very specific place today is to share with you these incredible formations. Now, these hoodoos are actually much smaller than other ones, very protected because of course this is all created by erosion. But if you ever see images of Alberta, if they're not the Canadian Rockies or the big rivers, it's often these incredible hoodoo formations. Now, what is a hoodoo? Hoodoos are natural stone pillars that are simply created by getting a hard cap on top, and then water and wind and melting snow causes them to erode into these forms. In fact, the middle one here will erode much faster now because it's lost its hard cap. As you look up on the hills in the distance, you see all these strata formations down through this incredible environment. And with it, of course, comes all sorts of rates of erosion. Now, it's a very, very dry area in the summer. We're in late October now, so the trees have lost their leaves, a lot of deciduous trees down along the Red Deer River. Look at that fabulous Alberta sky. But then it'll begin to snow, and of course the ground freezes. And then when the heat comes back in the spring, and it gets very hot here in the summertime with no shade because of the shapes of all these eroded mounds, then suddenly you have this fast period of erosion. And because these have been so photographed, I think it's excellent that Alberta has built a little walkway around here. So let's take a little stroll together. Look at them down there. Now, I'm just about 15 minutes south of Drumheller, the main town in this valley, although I did pass the turnoff to Wayne up the way. Wayne was a coal mining town. It's really a ghost town now, but if you ever come here, I highly recommend visiting beautiful Wayne. Of course, this is a good mesh walkway as well, and it's a mesh walkway because, of course, it freezes so much in the wintertime through here. Now, I hope the sound is good just because I have a hood up just because of the wind. This is a windy area, just the nature of the prairies themselves. But I'll take you up to where there's a couple of plaques that we can have a peek at and then look back to the hoodoos themselves. And also you get these black lines through the ground here. Coal. In fact, there were coal mines all through here. The Atlas mine. Here's a sense of the Red Deer River. Sorry, very windy, so it's fun to have a little look at that. Always on these YouTube videos. You know, the main reason I have put these up is I spend most of my life doing live virtual tours now. But if I'm in an area where I don't have enough reception, then I do a YouTube video, and then we're able to share them amongst ourselves. So please feel free to share these. There you go. Coal is formed when plant remains decomposed in acidic, swampy environments. And so we really don't want to keep burning coal around the world ideally. However, it was very important to the industrial periods. Until the 1950s, trains were powered by coal in this country, and without trains, Canada would never, well, in all likelihood, would never have survived as a country. In fact, I just like to go down and show you one more banner, but the sky just always draws my eyes up. And because we are later in the year now, days are shorter, of course, and increasingly shorter, but it's fun. Let's look back to the late Cretaceous period. So that's when all the dinosaurs are living here. That's what this environment would have looked like at that time. A totally different environment than it is today, of course. High, dry plateau. So let me just curve around the back here and I'll take you back to see, well, a few more views of the Hoodoos from different angles, of course. They are just so spectacular. And these ones are small. Let's say if you've been to Bryce Canyon in Utah, of course in Banff and Canmore we have Hoodoos. So, but these ones exist again in this soft sort of environment with a high rate of erosion. Now, there are some big trucks up behind. And again, nice to see the film industry doing well here in Alberta itself. And this environment, of course, you can make this, I guess, look like so many different environments with the creative edge. I do love that. Even with the vehicles in the back, that sky is just so impressive. Okay, there we are. So the Hoodoos have been subjected to the erosion of wind and rain for thousands of years. And we know thousands of years because the last ice age for this part of the province ended about 11,000 years ago, although we still are technically in an ice age. If you think about it, there are still glaciers in Alberta, of course. So our planet still is in an ice age. So let me just curve around a little more here. And I always look forward to coming back to this area. So if you do come here for a visit, of course, the Royal Trail Museum, I highly recommend bringing a bicycle here. Although in the summer it can be very, very hot. In the winter, of course, icy and cold, but then that's where we are. But you can explore this whole valley for at least a full day. I often like to camp overnight. That's why I travel around with my van. And then go over to Dinosaur Provincial Park as well, which is another valley. It's just ancient. So let me just curve around here for a second. Here we are. This is the hard cap that causes the erosion underneath. See, someone's actually touched the rock there, and you really shouldn't. The whole point is for everyone to get to enjoy this. As we say, take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footprints, which is, I think, pretty good advice anytime. So, this is just a quick hello, and thank you for coming to visit me in my YouTube page. If you could subscribe, that would be nice. I think we're still a long way away from being able to do anything with that, but it's a nice way to expand and communicate with people. And do come on a live virtual tour. You can always find links either in descriptions or through our website, toometours.com. So thank you and hello from the Alberta Drumheller Hoodoos.